Page 39, Reflections. 4/4 time. Let's look at it. There's two voices in the left hand at the beginning of this. The bottom voice is the whole note. So you're going to hold it down for the whole measure. The top voice is the eighth notes and the ties, so it's 1 and 2, and then you're going to hold that note down for the rest of the measure. So the two together are here. It looks at the beginning like you have to play A twice. This is how they have to do it in the music. You only play it one time, but they're showing both voices, and this is how they have to do it. They can't put a stem over the whole note. Otherwise, they could have a stem, because sometimes you have the same note, the same circle with stems going both directions, showing two voices or sharing that note. But when there's a whole note involved, you can't do that, because you can't put a stem on a whole note. So they have to use two different notes, but you play them at the same time. Hold them down, next measure, and it's all legato, so connect it with the fingers. I'll get to the pedal in a minute, or two. And then the second measure, second line, just go on down with the little finger. And then here, you almost have to do 1/3. If your fingers are too fat for that, then you have to do a 3/2. Stretch up. Third line, here. 3/1 and then 4/2. It's not a problem. Going on down, I recommend a 3/1 on the fourth line down. And then a 2. And at the bottom, it's two voices again. You can use second finger on the B flat in the second measure at the bottom if you want. Or thumb, either one, it's up to you. And then the last measure is that D. You have to release the hand because you got to move it to here. The pedal will keep the sound going. So the right hand at the beginning is just soft chords. Just do the way they're telling you to do. No big deal, I hope. Let's get down to the third line. The fingering is okay, but I prefer different fingering, and I'm going to show it to you, and you can decide which you like. You just take a pencil and pencil in my fingering, and then you can experiment on which one you like, and then pick one, and then stick with that fingering, whatever you pick. So I'm going to suggest a 1/3 at the beginning of the line on third line, and then a 4 on the quarter note, and then a 1/2 for the next measure, and then a 2, and then a 1/3 for the next measure, and then a 4. Then lift up at the end of the line, because you're going to repeat it back to 1/3. This is between phrases, so you can do this. Going on, the next line is 2/4. And then the last two measures of the fourth line, I recommend a 1/3. The E, the top note, is tied. You're not going to play it again, you're going to hold it down while you play the C sharp, and I recommend just come over with the second finger. Then the last line is just straightforward. 1/3, a 1/2, and a 1/3. And that's the piece. Then you put the hands together gently, and then 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then in the second line you get a little louder. Not much, because you're still sort of loud, sort of soft. So in the left hand and the second line, the last two measures, that's tied for both measures. So just hold it down. Then you go on up. Bring out the top note in the right hand if you can. That's what we want to hear, and then you're going to repeat that and go on. Now the time signature, look out because it changes. You're starting out in 4/4 time. 4 beats in a measure, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Then whenever you get to the second line, second measure, it changes to 3/4 time. Now it's all of a sudden it's 3/4. The beat stays the same, you're just counting to 3. So that second line is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. So you're counting to 3. And you keep counting 3, 4 times until you get down to the last line, and suddenly it changes to 4 again. Jazz does that a lot now. Now the pedal. It's legato pedaling throughout. That's fine. I like to hear a little bit of a break between the phrases, but they're not giving you any phrases, so that kind of leaves that out. I will tell you that you can have a break in the sound at the end of the 3rd line. Whether you repeat it or not doesn't matter. You can still lift the pedal up with the hands here before you go on. Whether, depending on which line you go to, I don't care. Still lift the pedal up there. And you can have a break in the sound at the end of the 4th line when you're finishing this. So you can lift the pedal up with the hands before you play the last line. There. And then at the end, the pedal and the hands all come up at the same time. Otherwise, your legato pedal. You push the notes down, you push the pedal down. And when in the next measure, you push the notes in the measure down, and you lift the pedal up and put it down. So the pedal lags behind the hands. It's an overlapping pedal. I'm going to give us 4 counts and let's play this. It's a slow piece anyway, so we might be pretty close to speed. So the right hand's here, left hand's here, and the foot's on the pedal. 1, 2, ready and go, and 3, 4, 3, 4. 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, repeat.